Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most stressful moments in property transactions, the chain collapse. You've agreed a sale, everything is lined up, and then suddenly the buyer pulls out. What do? Fortunately, there are legal ways to protect yourself and keep your move on track. We recently worked with a client who was midway through selling their home. The chain included 3 other properties, all set to exchange on the same day. The buyer at the top of the chain suddenly withdrew without warning. Panic set in. The client faced delays, additional costs, and the very real risk of losing their onward purchase. This is where knowing your legal options can make all the difference. The first step is to review the contract. Most sale contracts include a clause allowing the seller to claim damages if the buyer withdraws after exchange, but crucially, that only applies once contracts have been exchanged. Before exchange, the situation is trickier, but there are still measures you can take. One approach is to negotiate a new exchange quickly with an alternative buyer. Being proactive and having solicitors ready to move can sometimes save the chain from completely unraveling. The second legal route is to include break clauses or conditional terms in your contracts. For example, if you know your sale is part of a long chain, you can negotiate clauses that give you certain rights if another party defaults. These might include retaining deposits, adjusting completion dates, or even stepping back and securing a new buyer with minimal loss. In one recent case, our client had such clauses in place, which allowed them to pause the chain safely while finding a replacement buyer without losing their deposit. The third method is the often overlooked indemnity route. If your buyer pulls out, you may be able to claim costs incurred due to the collapse, such as additional legal fees or survey costs, depending on how the contract was drafted. While it's not a guaranteed fix, it can offset some of the financial stress and make a disrupted chain less damaging. Communication is another key element. In many cases, buyers withdraw because of misunderstandings or minor issues. Prompt, clear dialogue can sometimes resolve concerns and prevent the collapse altogether. At Blackstone Solicitors, we make sure clients understand the options and legal safeguards available at every stage, so they are prepared to act immediately if the chain begins to wobble. Of course, the reality is that property chains are inherently fragile. But by understanding your legal position, preparing contingency plans, and acting quickly, you can protect your move, limit losses, and sometimes even turn a potential disaster into a smooth continuation of the chain. If you're worried about your sale or want advice on protecting your property chain, don't leave it to chance. Legal guidance early in the process can save weeks of stress and thousands of pounds. If you found this video useful, give it a like, subscribe for more practical property law insights, and contact our team at Blackstone Solicitors for tailored advice on managing your property chain.